All right. So we are now entering into the new module, which is the reproductive module. We are seeing the excretory module. So we will be seeing about the reproductive module. Okay. So in this, we will be studying about the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system. So today we will see about the male reproductive system. Okay. In the male reproductive system, we will be seeing the major male reproductive organs. Okay, only the major male reproductive organs. So we will start with the scrotum. Okay, the scrotum, which is situated in the perineal region. Perineum means the place between the two thighs. Okay, it is a deeply pigmented. Okay, it is a deeply pigmented structure, and this structure is divided into two compartments. Okay, it has got two compartments. If you dissect and see, you will be able to see two compartments, and in each compartment there is a testis. Okay, there is a testis. Okay, so the structure is called as scrotum, and inside the scrotum there are two compartments, each containing a testis. Okay, now what is this testis? The testis is the reproductive or gland of the male. It is the place where the sperm is produced. Okay, it is the place where the sperm is produced. Okay, it is suspended in the scrotum. It is hanging in the scrotum by the spermatic cord. Okay, by the spermatic cord. So here you can see the testis. It is hanging. Okay, it is suspended in the scrotum by this structure, which is called the spermatic cord. Okay, by the spermatic cord, and it is surrounded by two structures. One is called as tunica vaginalis and the other one is called as tunica albuginea. Okay, tunica vaginalis and tunica albuginea. Tunica vaginalis, this is derived from the peritoneum. Okay, so peritoneum, you know that this is the abdomen. It is present in the abdomen. Okay, so the tunica vaginalis is derived from the peritoneum, whereas tunica albuginea, it forms the fibrous covering of the testis. It covers tightly the entire testis. Okay, when you are dissecting in a real person, you will be able to see that this is a grayish membrane. Okay, the tunica vaginalis, it is a grayish membrane, and once you open this grayish membrane, you will be able to see the white colored structure, which is tunica albuginea. Okay, tunica albuginea, which is a fibrous structure which covers the testis. So tunica vaginalis, inside it will be the tunica albuginea. Okay, now each testis is divided into 200 to 300 lobules. Okay, so there are many lobules, many small compartments. Okay, it is divided into small compartments. Okay, like this. Okay, so and in each compartment there are small tubes, tiny tubes, and these tubes are called as seminiferous tubule. Okay, seminiferous tubule. Okay, so each testis has got 200 to 300 lobules, and inside each lobule there is small tiny tubules called as seminiferous tubules. Okay, and in between these seminiferous tubules there are certain cells which is called as interstitial cells of Leydig or Leydig cells. Okay, Leydig cells. What is the importance of this Leydig cells? The Leydig cell is the one which secretes testosterone. Okay, it's the one which secretes testosterone. Okay, so the testis is divided into 200 to 300 compartments or lobules. Okay, and inside each lobule there are tiny tubules which are called as seminiferous tubule. Okay, seminiferous tubule. And in between this tubule, there will be small cells which are called as Leydig cells. And this is the cell which secretes testosterone. Okay. Now, compared to females, okay, the testis is present outside the abdomen. Okay, the testis is present outside the abdomen. Whereas in females, the ovary, okay, in female, the reproductive gland is ovary. It is present inside the abdomen. Whereas in males, the testis is outside the abdomen. Why it is kept outside the abdomen? Because when it is present outside the abdomen, the temperature is slightly lower. Okay, it is 3 degrees centigrade below the normal body temperature. Why this temperature maintenance is important? So when it is maintained in a lower temperature, it improves the sperm formation. Okay, the sperm formation is improved. Okay, the formation of sperms is called as spermatogenesis. Okay, it's called as spermatogenesis. Okay, so spermatogenesis, it takes place 3 degrees centigrade below the normal body temperature. Okay, it takes place 3 degrees centigrade below the normal body temperature. Okay, so that's why the testis is present outside the abdomen in male. Okay, for females this is not required. The presence of egg, okay, it can take place at a slightly higher temperature also. So the temperature maintenance is not required in females, so that's why it is present inside the abdomen. Okay, but for the formation of sperms, the sperm should be can form only when it is maintained at a lower temperature. So that's why the testis is outside the abdomen. Okay, so once again, the testis is suspended from the scrotum by the spermatic cord. It is surrounded by tunica vaginalis and albuginea. Vaginalis derived from peritoneum and albuginea from the fibrous covering of the testis. Each testis has got lobules, and inside each lobules there are seminiferous tubules which produces the sperm, and between the seminiferous tubules there are Leydig cells which produces testosterone. The testis is outside the abdomen, okay, inside the scrotum, because it needs to be maintained at a slightly lower temperature than the body, okay, in order to facilitate the formation of sperms, which is called as spermatogenesis. Okay, so here you can see the seminiferous tubule, the outermost structure. Okay, so this is called as the grayish part, which is called as tunica vaginalis, and the inside part, which is called as tunica albuginea. Okay, tunica albuginea. Okay, the lobules. Okay, and inside the lobule there are seminiferous tubules. Any doubt until now? All right. So next structure. So we have seen the testis. Okay. Now what is the blood supply for the testis? The testis is supplied by an artery as well as a vein, which goes with the same name, testicular artery and testicular vein. So it is easy, but the questions will be asked based on where do they arise from. The testicular artery arises from abdominal aorta. Okay, it arises from the abdominal aorta just below the renal artery. Okay, just below the renal artery. Whereas the veins, the testicular veins, the right and the left testicular veins, okay, they drain into, okay, they drain into the right testicular vein, it drains into the inferior vena cava, and the left testicular vein drains into the left renal vein. I'll show you the picture. So here you can see the aorta, the abdominal aorta, the renal arteries are going to the kidneys, and here you can see uh, an artery. So this one is the right testicular artery, and this one is the left testicular artery. Okay, the right and left testicular artery. Now coming to the veins. Okay, the veins, the right testicular vein, it is going to the inferior vena cava. You can see that this is the inferior vena cava. The right testicular vein goes into the inferior vena cava, whereas the left testicular vein, it goes into the left renal vein. Okay, it goes into the left renal vein. Here it is mentioned as gonadal vein. What is this gonadal vein? Gonad means it's a common term both for male and females. The female and female reproductive organs, they are called as gonads. That is a common name for both testes and ovary. Okay, the male gonad is testis and the female gonad is ovary. Okay, so in females also it's just the same. The right gonadal, the right ovarian vein will go to the inferior vena cava, and the left ovarian vein, it goes into the left renal vein. Okay, so this is also important. Okay, the right testicular vein, it goes to the inferior vena cava, the left to the left renal vein. The lymph nodes. Okay, the lymph nodes, the lymphatic part from the testis, it drains into the para-aortic group of lymph nodes. It drains into the para-aortic group of lymph nodes. Why this is important? Especially in case of testicular cancer. Okay, if there is a cancer which is situated in the testis, okay, you cannot remove only the testis because the cancer cells could have spread through the lymphatics to the other parts. So you need to look for the lymph node which drains the testis, which is the para-aortic lymph nodes. So you need to look at para means parallel to the aorta. Okay, so along the aorta on either sides there will be para-aortic group of lymph nodes. Okay, look for cancer in them and you need to remove them as well. Otherwise, the cancer will come back again. Okay, so that's why we need to know about the lymphatic drainage, the para-aortic group of lymph nodes. The nerve supply, it is from T10 and T11. Okay, from thoracic vertebral, thoracic spinal nerves. Okay, T10 and T11. All right, so these are the informations about the testes. Okay, the testicular artery from abdominal aorta, the right testicular vein draining into the inferior vena cava, on the left into the left renal vein. The lymph nodes is into the para-aortic group of lymph nodes, and the nerve supply is T10 to T11. Any doubts? All right, now coming to the next structure. Okay, you can see this is the testis. After the testis, I'll show you in this picture. The seminiferous tubules, they all join together, and here they come what is called as epididymis. Okay, epididymis. Okay, epididymis. Okay, these all tubules, they will join together. Okay, they become a few epididymis. In the epididymis has got a head, body, and a tail. Okay, as it comes from head, okay, towards the tail, all the tubes will be joined, and finally there will be only one tube. Okay, and this tube is called as vas deferens, ductus deferens or vas deferens. Okay, so this vas deferens then goes through the spermatic cord. Okay, it goes through the spermatic cord, okay, and opens into the prostatic urethra. Okay, it opens into the prostatic urethra. You have seen the prostatic urethra in the previous session, right? So it opens into the prostatic urethra. So all the seminiferous tubules, they slowly join with one another, okay, from the head of the epididymis, body and tail of the epididymis, sorry, head, body and tail of the epididymis, okay, and finally from the tail of the epididymis, there will be only one tube, which is called as vas deferens. Okay, so the vas deferens. You can see the testis here. Okay, head, body, and tail of epididymis. Okay, and from the tail, there is only one single tube, which is called as vas deferens. Okay, and you can see this vas deferens. It is a very long structure. It's approximately 45 centimeters long. Okay, 45 centimeters long, and it enters through the spermatic cord into the inguinal canal. Okay, there is a canal in the anterior abdomen. Okay, through the inguinal canal, it enters inside the abdomen, and it goes above the bladder, goes to the posterior surface of the bladder. Okay, that is goes behind the bladder, and behind the bladder, it joins with another structure, which is the seminal vesicle. Okay, it joins with the seminal vesicle, and then it opens, forms a common tube, which is called as ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory duct, and then it opens into the prostatic urethra. Okay, you have seen the urinary bladder, prostatic urethra. So it opens into the posterior part of the prostatic urethra. Once again, I will tell you, the sperm which is produced in the testis, it goes from the epididymis, head, body, and tail of the epididymis, and then into vas deferens. The vas deferens goes through the spermatic cord, through the anterior abdominal wall, goes behind the urinary bladder. Okay, goes behind the urinary bladder, where it joins with the another structure, which is the seminal vesicle. Okay, and forms the ejaculatory duct. This ejaculatory duct opens into the posterior surface of the prostatic urethra. Okay, opens into the posterior surface of the prostatic urethra. Any doubts? All right. Now let's see about the seminal vesicle. Okay, so here you can see the prostate gland, the prostatic urethra. Okay, the prostatic urethra. Okay, and here you can see the vas deferens. The vas deferens, which is located medially. Lateral to the vas deferens, the seminal vesicle is located. Okay, seminal vesicle is located. Okay, sorry. Now here you can see the vas deferens and the seminal vesicle, they join together to form the ejaculatory duct. And this ejaculatory duct opens into the prostatic urethra. Okay. Now what is the function of this seminal vesicle? It's a fibromuscular pouch. Okay, it's like a pouch, like a pocket-like structure. Now why it is present? The sperm is produced from the testis. Okay, but the sperm needs energy. Okay, so this energy they get it from the semen. Okay, so the semen is produced in the seminal vesicle. Okay, so the semen is produced in the seminal vesicle. Okay, so the semen comes from the seminal vesicle, and the sperm, it comes through the vas deferens, and then they enter into the prostatic urethra. Okay, they enter into the prostatic urethra. Okay, then it goes through the membranous urethra, penile urethra, okay, to get deposited into the female genital tract. Okay, so this is the seminal vesicle. Okay, the seminal vesicle, it's a fibromuscular structure located lateral to the vas deferens, and it helps in the formation of semen. Okay, and this structure, the vas deferens, it brings in the sperms, which gets combined with the semen. Okay, and then they both combine through the ejaculatory duct. Through the ejaculatory duct, they come to the prostatic urethra. Okay, and from the prostatic urethra, it is sent outside. Okay, so this is the seminal vesicle. Any doubts? Okay. Ejaculatory duct. As I said before, it is a very tiny structure formed by the union of vas deferens and seminal vesicle, and it opens into the posterior surface of the prostatic urethra. Okay, it opens into the posterior surface of the prostatic urethra. And from there, there's a rest of the parts, which is the membranous urethra, okay, the penile urethra. Okay. Now, what is the function of this prostate gland? It is present only in males, okay, and it is present just below the urinary bladder, okay, and it is the first part of the urethra. They secrete secretions. The prostate also gives rise to certain secretions, okay, and they constitute 30% of the semen, giving the milky appearance. Okay, so the milky appearance of the semen, it is because of the prostate gland. It is because of the prostate gland. Okay, so there will be secretions coming from the seminal vesicle. Okay, it will be coming from the seminal vesicle. Okay, as well as from the prostate gland. Okay, so when the sperm enters, the seminal vesicle also pours its secretions, which combines with the sperms, and when it reaches the prostatic urethra, the prostate gland also gives its secretions. Okay, the prostate gland also puts its secretions, okay, which helps in the sperm to survive. Okay, because the sperm, once when it is deposited in the female genital tract, it will take until 72 hours to reach the egg. Okay, it will take 48 hours to 72 hours to reach the egg in the female genital tract. So until that time, the sperm should have the energy. Okay, so this energy comes from the secretions of the prostate gland as well as from the seminal vesicle. Okay, as well as from the seminal vesicle. Okay, so while studying about the female genital tract, I will tell you where the fertilization takes place. Okay, so in order for the sperm to get its energy, okay, so it gets its nourishment through the semen, which comes from the prostatic secretions as well as from the seminal vesicle. Any doubts? All right. Coming to the last portion, the penis. Okay, the penis has got the root and a body. Okay, the root and a body. Okay, the root is made up of, the penis is made up of, if you take a cross section, we have seen it in the previous lecture, right? So there are two mass, okay, which is present, which is on the top, on the dorsal surface, which is called as corpora cavernosa. Okay, corpora is the plural form, singular is corpus. Okay, so it is composed of two corpora cavernosa and one corpus spongiosum. Okay, cavernosa means there are many tiny openings. Okay, many tiny openings which are filled with blood. Okay, which are filled with blood. Okay, and it helps in maintaining the erection of the penis. Okay, the corpus cavernosa. Whereas the spongiosum, okay, the spongiosum, okay, it is a soft structure through which the penile urethra passes through. Okay, through which the penile urethra passes through. Okay, so there are two corpus cavernosa and one corpus spongiosum. Now this corpus spongiosum, it goes, okay, it goes below, and near the end of the penis, it enlarges. Okay, the corpus spongiosum, near the end of the penis, it enlarges into a conical structure, and this structure is called as glans penis. Okay, it is called as glans penis. Okay, so the corpus spongiosum, near the end of the penis, near the tip of the penis, it is enlarged to form a conical structure which is called as the glans penis. The glans penis is usually covered by a thin skin, is called as prepuce. Okay, it is covered by a thin skin called as prepuce. Okay, now you know that the prepuce will be cut in certain will conditions. Okay, as well as on request. Okay, so that what is the name of that surgery? It is called as circumcision. Okay, in circumcision they will be removing the prepuce. Okay, the prepuce will be removed in circumcision. Okay, what is this prepuce? It is a thin skin which covers the glans penis. Okay, it is a thin skin which covers the glans penis. Okay, what is glans penis? It is the enlarged portion of the corpus spongiosum. Okay, the enlarged portion of the corpus spongiosum. Okay, which tissue is helpful in maintaining the erection of the penis? Corpus cavernosa. Okay, corpus cavernosa. The penile urethra passes through which part of the penis? It passes through corpus spongiosum. All right, so these are some of the structures which you need to know in the male reproductive system. Okay, do you have any doubts?
No, doctor.
Okay, so please go through this. If you have any doubts, you are welcome to email me.